Most people imagine failure as a loud, sudden event, a bankruptcy, a public firing, or a catastrophic disaster like the Challenger explosion. But the most destructive form of failure is quiet. It happens within our safest moments, marked by the gradual abandonment of our potential and a slow drop in our standards. This chart shows a concept called the just noticeable difference. It defines the point where a change becomes large enough to be perceived. When we slip, sleeping in 10 minutes late, or skipping a single gym session, the shift stays below our perception boundary. Because this decay is mathematically imperceptible, we remain unaware as the trajectory shifts. Our own biology masks the decline until this new lower standard becomes our permanent normal. To understand why we default to this decay, we have to look at the biological rule engine for performance, the Yerkes-Dodson law. This curve shows that peak focus requires a friction level of 6 or 7 out of 10. We only reach peak wakefulness when challenged by moderate arousal. However, as arousal drops to between 1 and 3, performance collapses. This is the comfort zone. Remaining in this low arousal state feels safe, but it forces the brain to operate far below its evolutionary capacity. By prioritizing ease, we biologically starve ourselves of the stress required to actually perform. The cycle usually begins during the critical transition from sleep to wakefulness. For many, that window is immediately hijacked by a smartphone screen. This morning check triggers an artificial spike in cortisol, the stress hormone. Before you even establish a baseline of calm, your brain is pushed into a reactive, high-alert state. After the stress spike comes the dopamine. Each notification or video provides an instant hit of pleasure with zero effort. This comparison shows how effortless digital rewards shatter the brain's evolutionary effort-reward cycle. When pleasure comes without work, the brain desensitizes its reward system, making it physically painful to perform difficult tasks later. This process weakens the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for self-control. You are effectively stripping away your own ability to resist impulses. The morning phone trap is a neurochemical sabotage. It wires your brain to retreat from anything that requires genuine effort for the rest of the day. These biological traps are often reinforced by the financial traps we build in our bank accounts. As people earn more, they often fall into lifestyle creep. Their recurring expenses automatically inflate to meet their new, higher income. This graph tracks rising income against human satisfaction over time. Notice how the satisfaction line remains flat. This is the hedonic treadmill. We rapidly adapt to luxury until expensive upgrades feel like an ordinary necessity. Those luxuries bring high fixed costs. Every new car payment or larger mortgage strips away your flexibility, pinning your income to your lifestyle. This creates a psychological paradox. Your brain begins to prefer a safe, mediocre job over the risk of pursuing a bigger ambition because the cost of failure has become too high. Financial comfort becomes an invisible prison. You end up trading your long-term potential for short-term stability. To break out, we have to look past modern science and consult the Stoics, who diagnosed this problem 2,000 years ago. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius taught that excessive pleasure degrades the soul. He advocated for voluntary hardship, the intentional practice of choosing discomfort to build resilience. This ancient philosophy aligns with modern identity-based habits. The most effective change doesn't come from chasing a goal, but from deciding who you wish to become. Think of your actions as votes for your identity. Every micro habit, writing one paragraph or making your bed immediately, is physical proof that you are a disciplined person. Waiting for motivation is a biological trap. True agency is built by accumulating daily proof of who you are through intentional discomfort. The first vote you can cast is physiological. Wake up 30 minutes earlier to reset your circadian rhythm and build immediate self-efficacy. Embrace that friction. It is the mandatory biological signal of growth, the evidence that your brain is actually beginning to adapt. Stop negotiating with an environment designed for quiet failure. Step into the discomfort and choose friction to build a version of yourself that can actually reach its potential.